Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm moving my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep, but it's a vibe. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You're sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep, but it's a vibe. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep, but it's a vibe.
The real Gypsy Soul. The real Gypsy Soul. How you doing, my darling? Herman, you big one.
How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
Snap out of it!
Bada bing, bada boom! Get over here! Get out of here!
Get out of here with that mess. Get over here. Now get out of here. Get over here first. Then get out of here. Hey, everybody. I hope y'all ready for a show today. Why is everybody upset that I changed my topic? Y'all know I do that all the time. I'm sitting there watching true crime stuff, and I'm like, damn, I should do a show about this. And the show that I'm doing today is an old one from the 90s. So you people that are born after that might not remember it. It is the Darlene Router story. And if you remember in the news, the big hoopla about her case was, trigger warning, by the way. Let me put that up here so y'all understand. I'm going to be talking about some true crime stuff today. She unalived her two boys. And the hoopla in the media was that it was a death penalty case for a female on a familial murder. And at the gravesite, she did the silly string. Now, I might have rang a bell with the silly string. She was very odd and peculiar at the boys' burial site, balloons and that sort of thing. She kind of made a spectacle, and the silly string was over the top. It was like she was giddy, is the word that comes to my mind. And so that's why I want to talk about this case, because they are talking about bringing it back up. And when you're talking about a death penalty case on a female, there's some controversial things going around about that kind of thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I've got a little bitty clip from a guy that I would love for y'all to go sub up to. He's got a couple of cases that I want to react to, his findings, this being one of them. Another one is how they are looking into Kessinger, the girlfriend of Chris Watts. That is another one that I want to do later in the week. Sorry, I thought today was Tuesday. There you go. That tells you where my mind is at. I was like, shoot, I should be doing true crime if tomorrow is a T. Tacos and true crime, right? And I got my days mixed up. I thought that the Selah and such had been beat to death. We've been talking about this stuff for almost 2 years. And I swore to my friends and husband and family, I will not make my channel about Jimbo and Ernie. And here I go, and so I'm trying to get away from that crap because it's so boring to me now. It's not interesting to cover anymore. And so maybe I should go back to 2 days out of the week, I do some true crime because that does interest me. My dad was a cop. Y'all know that. My daughter was murdered. Y'all know that. And so I've been around true crime my whole life. And so I guess that's sort of where my passion is. It just gets to be too much for an empath and someone who is intuitive. Things come to you in your dreams that you don't want to come to you in your dreams. And we once had a scanner. And when the scanner would go off and it was local, the person would pass while we were listening. And it was always somebody we freaking knew. So we sold that scanner, things like that. So when it gets to be too much, I want to talk about other topics. But I would like to cover some things that are maybe old cases being brought back up, like the Menendez, and the Watts case and this one. And I also would like to do some reaction to body cam footage. With all the, the Floyd case and all that. I would like to get your reaction on, do you think that it's improved since the knee on the neck incident? And just get your perspective on what we witness when we're watching body cam footage. And just overall, social, dissecting, right? And so I think that's a lot more interesting than these two guys that we have talked about for 2 years. The same thing. I can't do it anymore, y'all. So if y'all got to leave, I get it. I understand. But 2 days out of the week, I'm going to do true crime. And I was so excited about doing something different that I rushed the week and thought today was Tuesday. So that's why this is happening. Anyway, let me drop a link down here. Maybe some of you people have heard of this case. Just in case any bullshit started, I wanted to get that out and show my little clippy dippy. And I control my channel, not assholes, right? All right, let's see here. Yeah, the silly string. That's what always stood out in my mind. They're saying, well, let me just play it real quick. Hey to everybody. I'm not going to go through every single one of your posts here because I want to go ahead and get on with that. Let's see what here Sandy says about this. No, yes, Nicole Kessinger is a dark ass rabbit hole. Yeah, I think they're going to do something. I really do. And the corrupt way that it was handled with her, we're going to get into that as well. Okay, let's see what this says. Keeping everyone at UNC in my thoughts. Hope everybody is okay. What happened at UNC? Somebody tell me what happened at UNC. I have a stepdaughter at NC State. Did you get to see the whole video from the cemetery? I did. Yeah, I got a clip of it. I've got just a clip of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and there's the link down there if Sayla is here and Judo. I was hoping that they could come up today, and of course our regulars. Any of y'all want to come up? Come on down. Come on down. Let's see. JP, let's stay focused on this and not them. What happened at UNC? Oh no. My ex-husband's best friend lost a child to the one that was at the campus in Charlotte. Yeah. So it hits home whenever I see that. Send a message out, make sure all is well. Okay. Yeah, let me put this up here. Thank y'all for letting me know. Yeah, I have a stepdaughter that's head cheerleader in NC State. Okay, so this is the clip. I don't know where Sarah is. I knew she knew I was going live, so I don't know. Should I wait for her? Should I wait a few minutes so I don't have to replay it again? Stream the UNC stuff. I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. I didn't hear about the college thing. I worry about all those students. So sad. If one of you guys want to go do that, that's fine. Thank y'all for letting me know that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let me check on my son real quick. Hold on. You're welcome. Let's see. Either way, I'm here for you today. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know how to stream yet. I didn't hear about UNC either. My feed is bloated with her. Mine is too. I even unfollowed a couple up north that won't really be affecting me or my family. I got so much in my news feed about the weather. Okay, so here's the footage that I was going to show you real quick. For some reason, my stream never plays loud, no matter how low I put the volume. So if you want to check your volume and lower it before I press play, it seems to want to be loud, no matter how low I make it. It's just about a 49 second video of why they convicted her.
To look anywhere else. And the cold, harsh reality is that law enforcement, the prosecutors, and ultimately the jury did not convict Darlie based on empirical scientific evidence, but by the jury's own admission chose to send her to death row because of a video that in their 4-hour deliberation they would watch and rewatch right 7 times over. A jury who chose to cast judgment on Darlie for her perceived failure to appropriately grieve the loss of her sons. A jury that was never shown the rest of that day at the funeral site where Darlie had spent the preceding hours at the boy's gravesite, shattered, broken, and sobbing.
So they convicted her based off that footage, is what he is saying. And they think it's enough to bring a new trial. a juror spoke up on Sally Jesse Raphael and admitted that she, was judgmental toward her because of she wore expensive clothing and the boys did not, and she doted over herself and not really the boys. And it was sort of like a judgment call rather than did they prove the case with evidence, rather than personal judgment. So I wanted to ask y'all about that. You do? Yeah, that's why I was like, I got to change what I'm going to talk about today because this is, yeah, they're going to bring it back up. So, it being death row, I mean, it was disturbing if they were shown a short clip and hours of video was omitted. I agree that they didn't see her at the actual grave site and her grieving at the grave. This was a birthday party that they had thrown for the boys, I guess, after their passing. And I guess they felt like was exerting, this just, giddy kind of behavior as opposed to being distraught. Y'all saw her kind of giggling and with the silly string and acting, and it's, so. Hey there, Sarah. You want to come up? Come on the panel. Come on the panel. Sarah, smile. Won't you smile a while for me, Sarah? Sarah, smile. Won't you smile a while for me? I could really get goofy with that. Hey, Manchester, Vicky, and El Kennedy. Good to see y'all. You're working on your lawn. Well, I love your videos, man. I'm really getting into those videos you share. The music that's with it is kind of like hypnotizing. I love going and watching you. Get on up. Come on. I notice people are doing that now. Come on, Phil. Come on. Yes right now. We can all have opinions about that, but not sure about convicting them. That's the whole thing. And death row. So, I'm eating, then I'll come up. Okay. What you eating? I had McDonald's. Had Mickey D's. We went to Virginia this morning. Come on, panel. Come on. Don't kick your shit.
I'm on with it. Come on with it. I gotta knock. Someone's here. I gotta answer the door. These people. Hold on, I got a phone call.
That's Peanut.
Hold on, I got a phone call.
So is everybody upset I'm not doing my show about Sailor versus Sleazus? I fell asleep during them yesterday. I
missed that.
About that. Please don't make me.
I do have a question, though. I missed your intro.
You missed the intro of the case I'm going over?
I literally just got here when I said hi because I had resin in my hair, so I was trying to get that out of my hair, and I was confused because I thought it was an open panel, and then it said Crime Tuesday or something. Is today Monday?
And it's Monday, right? I told you how tired I am.
So if you could just not, one idea I had is just not certain people together, but you could still do the panel. Or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
whatever
sure.
you like.
I'll
roll with anything.
I just saw this in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh, I remember that silly string scene. I'll always remember that. Because I remember I was in sales or a secretary, and I remember still being in my suit, sitting there watching Inside Edition with Maury Povich about it. And I was like, dang. So I had to, follow this last night in the middle of the night. And I'm like, man, they're going to bring it back up? Because it's death row. They sent her to death row over a video. Now, I got to tell you, when I saw the video of her, giddy with the silly string, that was sort of weird, yeah. But and to convict her, like that, you know? I mean, and they omitted stuff they're saying out of the footage. So that was biased footage if it was edited.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think there was 2 videos. There was some shady stuff going on, but I thought it was already handled. I didn't know they were getting another trial, that lady. I kind of
Well,
remember some of that, you know?
I guess they appeal until they die, don't they? She said,
Yeah,
"All
she
the
was doing
dealers
weird
there."
stuff. She had some weird
It's just
behavior
peanut.
going on.
He's just peanut. Bring me a quarter bag.
Yay, it's the voice. My favorite voice.
Sarah, don't take forever at the door. She's out by the car. Google
Sandy
Maps
might come
got
up.
her. She's
Oh,
out there
hell.
posing for the Google map. Right. Funny, not funny. It's just satire. I might come up in a minute. I need to go pee and smoke.
That's
Okay, I'm
right.
gonna drop a couple
All your
likes. When you come back, I'll drop a new one.
maybe.
Okay, now when people
Truth
come
hurts.
up on panel and you get loud, you're gonna have to mute out.
Come on with it. You see, Truth
I
hurts.
like doing the true crime stuff. I've been watching court. I know you do, Gamer Girl, and I'm so glad that you do, because that keeps me interested when you share stuff with me. And thank you for that. So it keeps me abreast of things. So I saw that the stand did not appreciate my titty shot. That is not porn, according to terms of service. Anything below the waist is porn. So apparently they believe that women's bodies is more attractive than men's.
Oh, I wondered about that. I wondered about your clip. I'm not going to lie.
Do you know what? It said that I had to edit out the music in one segment of a picture I shared, but the titty got to stay. I was like, all right, good thing.
You can whip that out, but you've got to
Come
the
on,
music
Maydale,
that's
take the titty
all
back out.
All right, fair enough. Now we know what's allowed
It's
here.
not considered a porn bomb, genius. I got to play this to that, okay? Not a porn bomb.
Bada bing, bada boom. Get over here. Get out of here.
Get out of here with that. Just get out of here. Okay, I'll share this video with you real quick because you didn't get to see it.
Oh, she's live too? I didn't know that.
So exhausted from the same circle jerk. Yeah, I bet so. I know you've got to be tired of it. I have questions for her defense after hearing that. Were they privy to the entire video and just didn't show it to the jury? Or was it kept from the lawyer? Sometimes yes. Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about. Like when my husband was charged with, I think it was embezzlement was the original charge. It was really shitty bookkeeping, lazy bookkeeping. He didn't steal anything. And when it's almost like they'll help you through the process of pleading guilty. They don't help you through the process of defending yourself. They help you through the process of, okay, sign right here. Okay, now come here on Monday. Okay, now I need this from you on Tuesday. They don't help defend you. That's my opinion of public defenders. Sorry, not sorry, but it's the truth. They help you through the process of pleading guilty. They don't do shit for your defense unless now I used to date a criminal lawyer. He's a well-known criminal lawyer and a very good one. Unless it's going to bring him a lot of press. And he would take cases that built his career, and was, put a lot of forth effort, put a lot of out-of-pocket expense into it, and did it pro bono because it put him in the limelight and got this phone ringing again. So that's my opinion of law. No offense, JP Fluff. You're the shit, though. You're the best lawyer around.
I've been confused while you're talking because Truth Hurts was saying I didn't realize she was talking to Nicolina, so I was like, is Mama T in here and she blocked me? You know what I mean? Because she's talking to Nicolina as Mama T. It confused the hell out of me.
Great, me
got
too.
me.
And I have seen some disgusting ones. Unbelievable. And not to bring this up all the time, every time I talk about true crime, but I gotta. Why haven't they ever interrogated the Wells like we've watched in interrogation videos? Take their cigarettes away, take their food away. Just nicotine alone will make you choke somebody out. So, I mean, just take their cigs away for a couple of hours. I bet one of them breaks for a Marlboro.
I bet there's some kind of game plan going.
Going for Spooky. I'm just disgusted. Bless your heart. You know she gets wore out. I'm so upset over Spooky made me because she did serve our country. She doesn't go real life around here. That's sad.
And there's so much misinformation around it too, with the bullying. Someone that hasn't done anything. And might I add, the reason can I just add that the reason we're all allowed to be on YouTube and do what we do is because of people serving our country. We can sit on this panel and swear at each other if we want because people served our country and we're allowed to do this shit. People forget that. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of shit.
You're so diabolical.
Okay? I just wanted to say that. I'm diabolical. You wrote that yesterday. I'm trying to remind people.
The business.
I don't know. Somebody called me that.
I'll try to upload them, Judah. I do too. I love psychology. I do too. What makes people tick? Totally. Like, why in the hell did they do that? Right? 24 hours without booze too. I think so too. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when my husband runs out of cigarettes, he acts like he's somebody on crack. He has to have a cigarette. I mean, this guy gets
compared to that, you know,
a fucking cigarette. So if he does and isn't a violent person by nature, I could imagine someone who's strung out on 5 other drugs. Just take his cigs away. He'll crack.
Actually, in the past, I do remember that Candace did refuse treatment once because the reasoning was if you go in there, they tell you when to smoke and you wouldn't be able to smoke for a certain amount of hours. And that was allegedly going on for her not going to the rehab for alcohol.
Oh. Yeah.
I just remember that.
I'm serious.
You might be onto something.
I mean, my husband, I think that he could probably, really commit murder without cigarettes. I'm serious. So just take him away for a couple of hours and just see the guy melt. He'll start sweating first. He'll start sweating and then pacing. You gotta give me a smoke, man. No, tell me
that's nicotine.
Yeah. It's horrible, isn't it? Since he's been switched to this natural stuff that doesn't have the preservatives in it, it smells so good when you open the bag. Because we live right here in Winston-Salem. That's where they make the shit. So it's right here in Tobaccoville. Tobaccoville is like literally 5 minutes up the road from me, and you can smell it when you walk outside of my house. But when you open up it smells so fresh. And I said to him the other day, I said, do you know how lucky you are that you actually get a fresh cigarette? Everybody else has to wait for it to be shipped. Just think about that for a minute. He was like, yeah. Magnum says, gypsy people. Yeah.
The worst is airports.
I'm that way with the other kind of cigarette.
Once they lock you in, you can't go out.
That was why Dawn wouldn't go to rehab. Are you serious? Was because cigarettes?
So Dawn did it too. I just remember that Candace reportedly, I'll say, did that too when her friend was trying to get her into it. Yeah.
Well, they can put a patch on. Patches help me quit completely. I went in the hospital at the beach and they put patches on. No, it was here. Yeah,
they usually will if you ask. Yeah.
And they put patches on me. I didn't Jones for it when I got out. I was like, I guess I want one. Yep, I
can give you a recommendation for that.
Oh wow, you're going across the border. I mean, over to West Coast, right, Sandy? Hey, Scotty. Hey, good to see
Question
you.
for you, Sandy. There's a little
Hey, Texas Kim.
there's a product at the store, right, with the cigarettes. It's in a little tin, and there are these little pouches that you tuck up in your your lip. And I had to when I traveled, because once you're locked in the airport, I only used one, I think, through the air, once you're in the air and stuff and getting down, just in between waiting, and then they're really cheap, and it's still nicotine. Any of that at the airport, you'll get busted.
Well, when my husband and we both have asthma, and I have chronic bronchitis with asthma, and he has asthma with COPD. And when we both tried to vape, it gave us bronchitis. We both got sicker than shit. We were like, so much for that.
Sometimes transitioning. Sometimes that just while you're transitioning, though, until your body gets used to it.
Come on down. Come on down.
Sayla, come on down.
Yeah. I just woke up from a nap because I wanted to be here. So
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah.
You got to sing happy birthday for us.
I know. Is she even here?
Is Traders here yet?
If she's not, it's fine. She can rewind this.
Yeah, that's true. It's her birthday.
All right. Sarah, can you mute out real quick? Yeah, she's got a background noise. Okay. And that way
it's my water fountain. I'll unplug it.
Oh, okay. I want to be able to do this so that everybody can clip it or whatever and use it to whatever they want to do. This is specially for traders. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday, traders. Happy birthday to you. All right, that was horrible. But
that was awesome. That was fantastic.
I guess I just woke up.
That was so good, Sayla. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, traders. Woo.
I needed to actually wake up and clear my throat and stuff, but otherwise I could have gotten the raspiness, but
I thought it was perfect. Happy birthday, traders. Woo.
Happy birthday, traders. Oh my goodness.
I'm so glad you came. So what did you think of yesterday?
Literally, I was not around.
That was a snoozer.
I had things I needed to do work-wise, and then I got ready for my date, and then amazing.
Awesome.
Say, look at a date.
Yeah, it was date number 5.
Fantastic. Does he play guitar?
Oh no. I mean, he's big into music and stuff, but no, he's actually he's not stolen valor. He's actually out of the army. But he owns a couple companies, and he's got a child that is my child's age that is autistic. My daughter is she has Tourette's, but his son has autism, and I mean, just the sweetest. Oh my god. I've never been.
Tell us about it, Texas Kim, because I fell asleep. I did, and when I woke up, he went off the air. So I thought, wow, he went off the air early.
Who?
So I did, and it said, it said Sayla's daddy.
Oh God, whatever. He wishes. Nick, I'm not stealing it. I promise, I'm not stealing it. Gypsy has been wanting me to sing happy birthday for a long time.
Yes, I have. I knew you would sing it good. You've got a good
Hi, Sandy.
Voice.
Oh, if I had been awake, and I wouldn't have, but I mean, it would have been a lot better. I'm nervous though, because I know that there's a lot of people in here.
Or just imagine them all in their underwear.
That makes it worse. What are you talking about? Yes, I don't know why anybody would say that. I'm like,
me, right?
I don't want to see a bunch of naked people.
Right. Now, a Bloody Mary, that would help me.
Yeah, I mean, oh, and
Hey,
then
Ludo.
I heard I was being made fun of for taking my medication and having a couple drinks. That's not illegal. My doctors know.
Right.
You know, they like, come on. And then Chirpycast is making up a whole bunch of crap just to see who's gonna take off with it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I got a couple text messages from people that I was extremely close to, and they're not looking into it either. And you know, I can't. I'm okay, which is really weird. I am okay, and I know that.
Yeah.
And they can keep trying to do whatever they want to do. They're not going to get it from me. I'm not reacting to it. That's the reason why as soon as I saw my name pop up, I was like, I think Gamer Girl said that he had a live scheduled with my name for 10 hours. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm boring. What are you
That's what I was like. I was like, what are you going to talk about?
I rarely
Like,
go
what
live.
they do is they take our lives and they literally, him and Constance, go line by line by line and judge it.
Oh my God, that is so boring.
That's their content.
That's okay. I'll let him.
It's like, you know, that's their PowerPoint presentation, is their crusade under their revival tent, trying to convert everybody to their religion.
Oh yeah, and I'm not religious at all, so
Right, exactly.
you know, I accept anybody else's religion, and I respect it, and that's fine. I'm not an atheist, but I am agnostic. It just, you can't. I haven't been convinced. That's my thing,
I like
and
being over here where the artists are.
yeah.
It's not like that at the Tigers, and it's not like that at the Stand. You all are artists, and you all inspire me.
Where did you go?
Texas Kim said Queen Ashley is going to stream it again tomorrow night, and then I heard Jimbo has some things to say tonight, so let the bashing commence. Let's go, Kim.
What's he got to say about you?
I haven't even made that many videos on him because other people were covering him. My whole goal was to go after Ernie, you know?
Yeah.
Pamphlets.
Do they have pamphlets? They need them.
Hey, Squid.
I don't know how you guys do lives that long, man. I'd fall asleep.
Oh, really?
I couldn't believe that I was live for over 5 hours. When it hit the 2-hour mark and me and Kim were just going, I was like, holy crap. That's amazing. To me, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because usually after 30 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, no. I mean, how just going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, and you don't even really know us, is odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
How can I be a study, you know, objective for you when you really don't even know me?
It's clout chasing. My name brought people,
Oh,
just like with
definitely.
Nick. With
Yes.
Nick,
It has
Nick
to
was
be
the
the
big
main
one.
roles. Yes.
I think it's very interesting that a guy who had a grand jury throw the case out, and these people are wanting to witch hunt rap, you know, and it's like, you need to get over it because the courts threw it out. We're not a judge and jury here. We do not get that. We didn't have all the information presented to us from the start or whatever, so we just went off what we had. And like I said in my live, I apologized to Rap it through text. Me and him had talked, and then I apologized to him in my video because I was wrong. I take, you know, I accept what I did. We were all emotionally charged. When you are triggered after something has happened to you, that's, I don't know. It's just really upsetting that they're bringing this all out and going after him. And now we're getting all slammed. But yet it was what, in April when, April when we were getting slammed because we were pissed off at Rap, you know, and it's like, could the schizophrenia like woman take her meds?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to put this out there because I don't give a shit. I noticed that BDAC was over there yesterday a lot. So is he the
Yep.
one funding Easy in this whole
Now he is.
Oh, he likes Easy?
Yep.
witch
I didn't know
hunt
that.
against us all?
I didn't know he likes Easy.
Is he funding Easy to come against us all?
It's possible because BDAC is really pissed off at Rap.
No way.
Well, then Rap
Can I
needs to
make-
hurry up and make good because we need BDAC to be a mean girl. He was a lot of fun in chat.
He was, but
May I-
he never left. You know he never left,
I
right?
was playing with him.
Gypsy, he never left.
Yeah, I heard he was downtown.
I've got it screenshotted the name, but yeah, he was big into Mama T's and Ernie's, and I mean all of them because he was against Rap.
I got news that I was just texted I want to share. I don't mean to interrupt, but
Okay,
it's kind of interesting. Do you remember the video you put out yesterday, Gypsy, with the kids crying and the dog and all that with Mama T?
Yeah, with the booby.
Well, yes. Do you remember she said that there was no kids there or whatever? There was a dog.
Oh, you're talking about that one with the dog.
Well, yes, because I just got a text that she's now saying, I can't verify, I'm just saying what I was just told, that she's saying now that it was the neighbor's kids, because she already said that there was no kids there, and that's on the video. I mean, that's
You can
on one
hear
of the
the
shows.
kids. You can
I
hear
know,
the
but
kids.
she said before there were no kids there. Now she's saying there were neighbors' kids. So I just thought, that's where that's.
What case is this?
This is when the kid was crying and you heard a kid getting smacked. She's saying they were neighbors' kids.
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, I missed that.
Okay, I'll play it real quick.
Yeah, I sent Gypsy a couple really cool videos. Hopefully she'll play you guys one.
Yeah, I'll upload it. I won't get a strike for it, will I? Okay.
The neighbors are hilarious.
Who's the man talking? Is that Poon?
Judo.
Judo. I hate Judo. I've never heard you on panel before, so.
Really?
He's our protection.
I adore him. I always tease him in chats, and I'm like, did I go too far?
When Ricky is away, Judo protects us, right?
Right?
He's our security.
Squids too.
It's all getting stupid, man. No man should have to come up on any channel and tell another man to quit talking to women that way.
No, but I have a big problem with the way that Sleazy talks to women and degrades
That's
women.
what I'm talking. You didn't
only
see
him.
me and Sleazy go at it?
Are y'all ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
I told Sleazy don't like me because I put him in his place.
Ooh.
Okay, here it goes.
I'll be right back, y'all. You gonna pull it up? No. Something else. Okay. What do you do? Pineapple, just eat it?
I think it's after the pineapple. We have no sound.
Mama's baby girl?
Okay, I'll start it over. I'm a dumbass.
There it is.
No. Something else. Okay. What do you do? Pineapple, just eat it? Just eating pineapple? I can't eat that. I mean, it started out as a joke, but it is something that can be done also, so. And sometimes I do something like that just because I think it's funny. And I'll say, yeah, I'm going to do that. Shut up. Oh, shoot. Someone's busted. You're sick too, Mama's baby girl? The den opens tonight at 6, everyone. Be there or be square. Pineapple juice. ID? For the bar. You're getting carded.
Did you hear it?
I heard the child screaming. Who was that?
I heard, "Don't hit me! Stop hitting me!"
Yeah,
I heard that too, Sarah. This time you're right. I did hear it.
I heard that.
My dad used to really beat us pretty good, and you know what the sounds are, and you know
That kid was
Yes.
terrified.
you could
Yeah.
hear it in her voice. Don't hit me
It was
again.
more than
Wait,
more than once.
but who was that?
Okay, that
Mama
Mama
why,
T's
T.
panel. That's Mama
right.
T's panel.
That's why I came up here.
Oh,
That
I think she
was
forgot to mute. It was a long time ago. I thought she
right.
was yelling at the dog. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to fill the dead air. So, you know what I mean? Talking about random
right.
things.
Sarah,
And
she
I was.
knew that she wasn't muted because you said, "Are you going to pull that up?" Whatever video or something, and she answered you. She was away across the room at the door.
I was just trying to make a reasoning, you know, I
And
guess maybe.
you asked her a
Well,
question. She answered you from across the room right before she closed that door. You'll hear the door close.
if
Can
they're in
I
the
cut
house,
in real quick? I'm gonna
but
lose signal.
if they're in the house, how does she hear the neighbors?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Nicolina. Yes.
But
Okay, so her new excuse of it being an AI of her, I still have like it shows the date that I posted this video on YouTube, and her original live is still up. So
Right.
it's not an AI. That was not a dog. That was not a neighbor.
That was a child.
yeah.
That was a child in the next
A
room.
child.
Well,
When you listen to it, you can
I
definitely
So
hear
I
it.
guess
Sit
that's
down and
probably why
shut
she's
up.
calling the cops on me today.
Oh my God. Are we
right.
going? Are you going to jail?
Well, she called the Owasso Police Department just a few minutes ago, and then
What?
she called dispatch. She's doing this all on her live stream.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
she
Don't
tried to
worry,
get
Nick.
connected to the cyber crimes unit, and they hung up on her. Now
Don't worry, Nick.
now
I'll
she's
back my
calling the police
wheelchair
on
up to the bars on
traitors.
the window, and I'll yank them
Why?
off, and you'll be out.
What's the reasoning? May I ask? Is there a certain reason? Is it going to be? Is somebody recording this so we can
So
listen
yeah, there's
afterwards?
people recording it right now.
Yeah.
Rap, do
Archivist
your
is
thing
recording it.
afterwards. All right, somebody stream it afterwards. Why? What is the reasoning? May I ask? If there is one that the cops are being called on you?
I'm harassing her.
You were at work
Cyber
and you're
Leave
harassing her.
no legal comment
Yeah.
unless in the community post about her harassing campaign.
Does she not realize that there's
All right, I gotta drop
hours
down.
and hours of
Thank
video
you.
of her doing it to
Bye, Nick.
people?
I know, right?
She was doing it yesterday.
She thinks
I
she's in the
mean,
right. Now, I was just peeking into the show a little bit ago because, I heard she was calling the cops.
Hmm.
So I was peeking in. After that failed attempt, which was pretty hilarious, she started talking about the videos posted this
She's calling the
morning.
cops on us right now.
Well, no, she just did on Nick.
she's in
And traitors,
California.
right?
What
You
the
know what I mean?
hell?
They don't even arrest you for shoplifting in California anymore. So
Oh,
what
I
she
know.
think the cops are going to do about harassment?
She's calling
I'm
Owasso.
calling the cops. Do we have this video? I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the
She
cops.
called Owasso, Michigan, police, and then
That's
they
another
told
call for
her
Nick.
that they didn't have a cyber crime, and so she was like, "Well, who would I talk to?" She goes, "You would have to call the state police." Now they gave her a phone number, and she was like, "Okay," while the lady was reading it off. Well, then she gets off the phone with the lady, and she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, who has that number since I don't have my pen and notepad on me. If you were planning to call the police on your live on someone, why would you not be prepared?
I probably would have a pen and paper.
Tell us what she's
Right,
doing,
you
Melissa.
don't
Tell
need
us blah,
to.
blah, blah.
Right, you don't need to
I
write
thought she had a
names down
photogenic
and
memory.
Because I don't know how
numbers
to stream.
and so anyways, of course nobody provided it to her.
Oh.
And so then she goes, well, I'll just Google it. So she Googled it, called the state police, asked for the cybercrime, and I don't know how, but she's like, they hung up on me. And she goes, well, I'll just call him after the live. But I'm not
Nicolina's
playing.
at work.
Well, then
I
she
want to
played.
understand. So she's calling the law over material that we played of her own.
No, she's
Is that
calling.
is that it?
Well, that I guess was the final.
She's calling the law saying Nicolina's picking on me.
The final kicker.
Did her
And when
feces get hurt?
people were like, why? Some people were like, this is dumb. You can't just call the police. So then she played the videos where they clipped them all together of Nick telling her to smile. You know which one
Honey,
I'm
my
talking
pen is
about.
missing from my voodoo doll.
I've got some breaking news. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, right.
There's an active shooter in North Carolina.
At UNC Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I let
I don't know how to stream it.
Gypsy.
Gypsy.
Yes.
On your StreamYard where it says there's a plus sign to add a clip or whatever.
Okay, let me put my glasses back on. Okay. Okay. The plus sign says present.
And then StreamYard. It's really easy.
Gypsy, I have a question when you guys get done with
Yeah, do that real quick. I'm gonna just open this up so I can tell her.
Okay. I know that you can come back up under another thingamabob, and they would both boxes say Selah, and one of them would be showing it.
Right, that's when you share it. Okay, it says present, but when you do that, it'll say share screen. You click on that, and then you pick what tab you want to share. That's how you share.
So find it first.
Do what?
Hold on. I should find it first, right? Like NBC News.
Yeah, I mean, just pick something. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything. Just that way, it'll say sharing the screen, and then you make sure that the share tab audio is clicked, and then you hit share, and then that way that screen is presented, whatever screen you just picked. It's so easy. You'll get it. I just wanted to help you with that.
I'm trying to get to a news station here.
I saw Ickadmel.
Who is covering it like locally?
Ickadmel.
Who?
Ickadmel.
Yeah, but that'll be like hours.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3.4 thousand watching right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go present. If I disconnect you guys, I'll come back.
You're not going to. You're not going to.
Share. Okay, then share screen.
And then a box will pop up where you can see your tabs. And then you click on the tab that you want to share.
Okay, then I choose share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did we lose Sarah?
Oh, we did lose her. I want to hear the rest of what Sapphire has to say, to be honest. And also, I want to tell your vagina happy birthday.
My vagina?
Yeah, because you're the one that delivered her.
You don't want to talk to my retarded tits?
Is it
Freaking love you.
showing y'all?
Thank God and bless her.
Can
She
y'all see it?
came and she
Yeah,
said,
I
"Hey,
see
like
it.
there's an active shooter on campus. Like it's gonna be locked down." And so that was 2 hours
Is it
ago.
sharing?
And so
Yeah,
we
it's
were
sharing.
sitting
And then you have to go back to
just inside for
your
2 hours. So
screen of
Is it
StreamYard.
working?
that just like
Yeah, it's
took
working.
out the entire crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. What was going through your mind when she came up to you and said that? I mean, like you said, that's not how you were expecting your Monday to happen.
I was just like, oh, shit, this is perfect.
Thank
like
you,
one more
Sailor.
thing on
You're
top of everything
welcome.
else. It's just like,
I know you've
oh,
been wanting
okay,
to learn to
because
do that, but in order
Thank
to stop
yesterday there was
sharing or
like
to
a
you. I
pause
mass
appreciate
that
shooting
that.
video,
in
you need to go
Florida
back to
that
that screen. That's why
it was
people
just
have
like
multiple screens. I
died,
have
and it's
two
like
27-inch
so she's a freshman, and like she was saying that
screens.
she's in a room of people that are making jokes. Like, no, literally someone got shot. Like, it's not, nothing's funny. Like, literally nothing's funny.
One thing that
It's
we
because the video is
have been paying a
playing.
lot of attention to is just this area, especially the
That video is glitching.
When you guys were talking about Trader's birthday, I sent her a video card, and it's this
Aw.
very, very large-breasted woman, and, and she's making her boobs dance to "Happy Birthday."
Oh, I love that.
I figured that's Traders.
She did. She kicked herself this time. She'll be back. It takes a little bit of practice. You don't have to, but it's best to have two screens when you're doing this, because if you want to watch chat and StreamYard, you want whatever's playing on one side. That way you can pause it, and then the other screen shows your chat and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, that would be handy.
yeah, and like I said, I mean, I bought a second screen. I have a all-in-one PC, and then I have like 3 laptops, and then I went ahead and bought another monitor, another 27, 26-inch, whatever monitor. So I have 2 giant screens now.
Yeah, I'm needing a new laptop. Mine's really old.
Yeah, mine are
So,
too. They last a long time if you take care of them.
yeah, oh, mine still. I mean, I've even had to have the keyboard replaced
Oh.
because my son's dog, when he was young, don't ask me how he did it, because my laptop was up on a TV tray, but he peed on my laptop.
Oh, talent. Damn, that takes talent.
Right.
You guys have little dogs, right?
Well, his dog is, I guess what you would call a medium
Okay.
sized dog. He's half lab and blue heeler. I couldn't think of the name the other day, but he's blue heeler and lab. So
Okay.
he's not big like a Labrador. He
Right.
looks like a Labrador, but he's not this size.
Yeah, Australian cattle dogs, the blue heelers, which is basically a cattle dog.
Right.
And then yeah, they're a medium-sized breed. They only get up to like 40 pounds.
Right. Right. He's not a big boy, which is nice. I love his size.
Mine just turned 8 months old, literally just 2 days ago. 110 pounds.
Right. Yours is gigantic. Yours
He's
is
going to
My gigantic dog is bigger than me.
right.
She's 100 pounds, but when I took a selfie to send to Nick, I was like, I wanted to show her how big Rune is now, and because she's almost 2, and she's slightly over 100 pounds, but her head is bigger than my body.
Right. I'm not trying to feed another human.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
I mean, Bloss is only 8 months old. He's got a lot of growing to do yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to be a 150-pound dog.
Right. You're already feeding another human. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not trying to do that. But,
Welcome back, Sarah.
He keeps me
Welcome back,
company.
Gypsy.
He's a good
Yeah.
boy.
Right now,
It takes a little bit of practice.
can I just? What happened to me
Yes,
was I
she
got
is.
knocked off the panel, but I got some nasty comments being said about me over there, so I'm about to lose my fucking shit. So I don't know what to do right now.
Let him talk.
Over where?
I'm trying. You got some nick in that. All right. So first of all, I fell off because I didn't realize that when you're on StreamYard and you open your laptop and you click on stuff, it made me go into the YouTube, I guess, and it knocks you off your phone.
Oh, okay.
But I got some people saying some really weird stuff. Sapphire is as bad as the rest of them. Stop giving that woman a pass. That's from Keeping It Real, and I think I know who that is. We got nobody owns YouTube, and a certain to tell somebody to get off YouTube is wrong. Oh, there's another one. These people don't get to decide to say this is from that Keeping It Real person. But that's not the bad one. But they're talking about us being a mean women's club. That now I got Rosebud talking shit on me real bad about my family. Where is it? That little bitch. Where is it? Sorry, but I'm gonna lose my shit over this. You don't get to touch. I haven't done a damn thing to anyone. Me with
No, you
everyone. This
haven't.
stupid bitch. I'm sick of this shit. I don't. I even was nice yesterday when people were saying they're calling me out. I even gave them a compliment. Okay, so bitch, you got me wrong. You got me all heated.
Right.
I gotta find this shit. Even somebody in the chat told her to not talk like this because it's that bad. And I'm gonna have to go in this chat and say something. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. She's talking about
I'll
my
teach
family.
you how to be a bitch.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
it's pretty
talking about-
ridiculous.
You want me to talk
There.
about yours? You want me to talk about yours? I don't go there though, At the same
I mean,
time,
just like
I'm just now I'm angry flipping, so I'm trying to. I shouldn't even have opened this laptop. I
just like
shouldn't even have done this.
Who is
like
saying all
Kimberly.
this?
They must have
I
deleted the
didn't do nothing
comment.
to all them
Where
people.
is it?
Listen to what they say.
Who is saying it?
She's talking about me, and I'm gonna be mother with my kid. Like, what have I done? I'm actually pretty fucking nice, except to you, because you're a bitch to me. Rosebud. She was talking shit about me losing my kid because I'm unfit. I'm gonna be labeled for being with you guys. I haven't done nothing.
I just look
They're
at
the
it
ones
this
being
way,
mean.
man. If they're
And
saying
actually,
stuff like that,
Yeah. Where? Tina's.
they
I
are.
think they deleted it because he said to them, even Keeping It Real, who doesn't like me, said, let's not go there. They said that to them. Oh, the fact that Sarah Smiles supports what is going on with the Mean Girls is disgusting. That's from Keeping It Real, but let me see if I can find that other one. I can't go back any further. Why are they talking? I'm about to lose my shit.
Oh, you
Because
sound
they're
mad.
trash.
I don't even know
Because
if
they
I
think
can. I don't
it
even know if I can be up here.
And that's
Why
why
am I? Why am I the topic of conversation? What is people's
they
problem with
think
me?
that it makes them look cool in whoever's eyes the creator is. You know what I mean?
I don't give a fuck. I'm not talking about them.
I know, and it's childish.
It's what it is.
They're
is that
talking about Sapphire. They're talking about Sapphire, and what are we even the sub? I thought that was Raylan.
Sarah.
That's not Raylan. Yeah.
Sarah, they're trying to trigger you. They're trying to trigger everybody.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Rosebud has the brain capacity. She's just being a bitch. I don't
Yeah,
think she
well,
would
it's
be able
pissing
to
you
things
off.
like that.
Gypsy, your husband's behind you. You have
No,
somebody
she don't
watching.
know. She don't know him. They don't know I'm watching.
He looks like the
I was gonna
FBI.
keep Mama.
He's pretending to be Xander.
Mama T allows comments like that. Nicolina did this. Nicolina doxed Mama T. No, Mama T doxed herself the other day. She held up the that picture that Traders made.
That was.
I hope the shit's getting. I hope Tina's recording this with the comments.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Sarah Gypsy.
I can't go back anymore. I'm pissed.
Sarah, that's why I finally came
He's
out
supposed to be
swinging
smoking a cigarette, but we don't
months
smoke
ago.
in the house, so he's just got it in his mouth.
This Rosebud chick needs to go.
He's always standing off watching.
Yeah, I just saw some guy
Rose.
standing there, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Gypsy, there's things
Look at Ernie again.
And then apologize.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't
call the law on me. It was just a joke.
What am I?
That was funny.
What am I
Boss.
supporting?
Boss, come here, you guys.
Call the whole freaking crew out. Call everybody out then.
He
What
cocked
is it
his
just
head
me
when you
for?
said "off."
Dumb bitch.
Judo, play that video
Is Peachy
from your
up?
phone so my every time I try to share the screen, my computer locks up. Will you share
That's
it?
Molly.
play it on your phone
Hear
somehow?
me?
Every time I share a screen, my computer locks up.
Can I do that from my
Nobody knows
end?
what the fuck I'm supporting.
Well,
motherfuckers.
I don't know how.
Gamer girl, that's exactly what I said. Just I wouldn't feed into it.
I definitely know who
haven't
that person is.
responded to it because it's just they're just trying to piss us all off.
I
And
agree. It's time to ghost those people, y'all. This
Yep.
is never going to end if y'all don't try to ghost them. Just stop.
Exactly.
They're mad about Nicolina with the throat thing. That's what they're talking.
Let
And
them
they don't
Did
know
you?
what each thing I support unless you actually take the time to talk to me and ask me, how do you know I support that? You know what I mean? They just make assumptions. They forget we all can think for ourselves. That's the problem here with a lot of the shit on YouTube.
Hey, FBI.
Was you not able to show it, Gypsy?
I'm sorry?
Was you not able to show it from your end?
When I try to share a screen, it locks us all up. So I don't know how to do it.
I don't know if I can share a screen on my side or not.
Chaotic knows how to do it.
yeah, I don't know how to do it. I've never streamed from my phone or anything.
So, after the
shit.
police call,
Threaten a bullet
they
in their
started
head.
talking. She was bitching.
The police called or she called the police? They called her? Okay.
After she did that and was unsuccessful, she started talking about the few video clips that everybody put out about her smacking the kid.
Oh.
Yeah, you worry about that.
Right, her first.
Why don't you worry about Mama T hurting kids, Rosebud? Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. The first story she told last night when she came on
Tina's crack pipe.
that it was
At least that made me laugh.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Then, right now, after the failed police calls, her newest story is that was
Sapphire's
the neighbor's
talking, Sarah.
kids. That she was online.
Oh, I thought my thing was muted.
Needed her inhaler and went out to the car to get her inhaler, and that was the neighbor kids that everybody heard. But what?
Then who was getting smacked?
Okay, this is what she's failing to realize. Okay, her people will believe the dumb shit. Okay.
Right.
But when that live happened, she lived in that mobile home that they got evicted out of. That was on a piece of property. There were no neighbors.
She also laid her phone down. When she said, I'll be right back, she laid her phone down. Sarah asked her a question. And when she answered Sarah, she was already all the way across the room. And right after she said no, answering Sarah, you heard her open and close the door. She laid her phone down when she got up and said, I'll be right back. You can hear her lay the phone down.
Let's say it was neighbor kids playing. The lady specifically in the background, whoever that lady was, said, it's time to lay down. You need to lay down.
Right.
Whose kids would be playing outside.
Right.
And then
And laying down.
Have her phone outside with her. She left it.
Lay down there.
She didn't have her phone with her when she walked outside.
Right.
The question I had, Gypsy, is he playing that video?
Her mod Vanessa.
The question I had, I was trying to ask it while Nicolina was up because I think she would directly know the answer to it. I am almost positive that there is another video that predates that one, a different video of her smacking her grandchild.
Yeah. Traders has it.
Okay, thank you, because I heard all this stuff this morning and I was like, isn't there another video like this, but it's not this one? And then
right, and they directly got it off of Mama T's live.
Right,
that is still up.
It was her own one.
Her
But I thought
channel.
the other one, if it was a separate one, Gypsy, you're muted. Um,
The one I have is a
I
7.
was thinking that it was longer back than this one y'all are talking about today. So there's some
Yes.
people that weren't around here back then that wouldn't even know about it, much less remember the other one, unless
Yes.
I was confusing the two. So that's what I was trying to clear up.
Right. When it happened, Traders made a clip of it. So did Nicolina. The live is still up. And then they all made clips last night, again, off that live. That all those clips that came last night came directly from her live that
And
is
her
on her
words.
channel.
Exactly. I mean, all we're doing is replaying what you published.
Right.
If you didn't want it heard on the World Wide Web, not just our community, but the whole wide world can listen to it too.
That's the same with the other video I'm talking about, because as I remember it, that one, the first one, she was not talking to anybody. This was even before live streaming, I think. I mean, like this one, y'all talking about she was talking to Sarah. She obviously had somebody on panel. The older one, it was just her sitting there talking, and then she smacked her granddaughter and yelled at her, and then tried to, just like this, she covered it up with a bunch of lies, and controversy.
Wow.
I think she tried to blame that. See, Nicolina would remember all of this. I think she tried to blame that one on the dog too.
Okay, so there was one of the kid, and then when they were in the motel, there was one where they thought she smacked the dog. And she said, no, it was my daughter slapping her crutch down.
That was the dog one. The one
Yes.
I'm talking about was way before the hotel. Like I said, I think it was before YouTube even had live streaming. I'm not positive, but I think it was that far.
She wasn't on that far back.
She just ended her live abruptly. So she's here. Well, come on up. I don't think I have anybody blocked. You know what's funny is I've always said if I publish anything in satire, I will remove it if you want me to. So she just looks stupid, And if I remove anything of mine, her live is still up.
Well, the thing is, when we're talked about on a daily basis as well, because it's not just one side, it's both. And
that's the whole reason why I clipped Jimbo. For 3 days in a row, he talked shit about me, unprovoked.
Right.
Because there was nothing else happening in his chat that day.
Right.
He always talks it about us.
Yeah, he's in love with me.
Well, I hope he ain't in love with me, because he talks about me all the time.
He is.
He must be. We're on his mind 24/7.
You got him with the hots on you.
I mean, he talks about judo constantly.
He does.
Every day, judo.
He loves him some judo.
Good grief.
It's because you were right. And every text he shared about you, you were right. You were right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got this thing about trying to twist everything.
Yeah.
Even though the proof's right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
You guys want to see him? You guys want a palate cleanser?
Yes. Yes.
I call this a mammoth palate cleanser. Can you see that pretty good?
Like this. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
My name is Justin Crystal Flakes, and I'm here to tell you about the story of my life. Well, I come in like a wrecking ball. Woo! You best believe it. I'm coming down on that head, Sally. Here I come. What I do? Yeah, I prey on these folks. You know which ones. You know which one. See, you got a nice house, family, car, dog, job, all that shit. Well, I'm gonna take that. I don't like that shit. See, I come in and I do what I do. I'm telling you right now, go to bed at night, kids. Tuck in tight. Kiss the wife goodnight. Kiss the kids goodnight. Take your ass to bed. Cause if you don't go to bed, you might be up at night. What you got? You got me in your hand, twirling me around, puffing on my pickle, sucking on it like it's gonna pay you, ain't you? But now you the one paying in. First thing that's got to go, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be your job. Yeah, I'm gonna take your fuck that shit. Take your job. Then we'll take your wife and your kids and your car. And I'm gonna get that little dog too. So what I'm saying is, that's what I do. I come in and I do that. Oh, heaven forbid you meet my cousin. Now my cousin, his name's Rusty Ridge. He puts you on that point. And then it's all over from there. I took everything he had. Well, he's just gonna go ahead and take the rest. So, y'all be good now. Tuck in tight. Here I come, Sally. Coming upside the head.
Coming upside the head. Thank you, Judah. Sweet as hell.
There's a bunch of them on there. That's little guy.
That's cute. What's his name?
It's on Kyle Manus.
Okay.
He's got a whole bunch of these. I mean, there's another one where
I'll be right back.
let's see, dude. I think there's him talking. Yeah, this one. He's where it's talking to a lighter.
That's funny.
Could you guys hear it?
Yeah, I could. Could y'all?
Yeah, I could hear it. I was
They're all
muted.
laughing,
I was
so I
laughing.
guess
My internet must be
Drop
slow.
And I will be in chat listening.
Okay.
See,
thank
this is
you for coming.
This one's by a different person. This is by Alina.
Oh my God, sorry about your phobia, correct?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's gonna happen sooner or later. Hey, whatever happened to you? You just up and disappeared on me one day. What's up with that?
I'm sorry, Piper. I was stuck under a couch this whole time. Could you believe it? It was so dark. I could hear you sometimes with Cricket. I was really jealous.
Yeah, I think that bitch was bipolar. You know, one day she was just heating up my bowl. Next thing you know, bam! She just blows up. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a bunch of these. They're funny. Am I still on here?
Yeah, I just muted so we could hear you.
Oh, there's a song. If you guys want to hear the song,
Oh, okay.
it's by Matt Delgado.
Well, I woke up this morning, I was looking for my crack, but I couldn't remember where the hell I hit it last night. All I know is that my luck is still numb. Went to the hood and got soda dumb. But now I'm heading back to get my big fat crack. Rock my way to the pawn shop to sell my mama's laptop. $35, hell yeah, I hit the jackpot. 5 on the utensils of the 30 on the crack rock. Walked in the store to get the Brillo with the tube. And since I got my crack, I don't need to buy no food. I think my favorite part is the melting of the rock. Watch it hit the flame and hear it smash, crackle, pot. If you've ever done it, then you know just what I mean. Throw your hands in the air if you a damn dope fiend. My girl is bad and she tells me not to get it, but you want me to keep it going?
Yeah, I'm just letting people saying hello to people coming in.
Okay. I just think she's mad. I don't ever let her hit it. Yes, I smoke rock. I smoke rock. Now we all know I smoke rock. I smoke rock. Now we all know. Made it back home. Now I'm locked up in the bathroom. Put the pipe together and it's time to take a blast soon. If you wanna hit, that's too bad 'cause I didn't ask you. Such a great feeling when you're sucking on that glass tube. People smoke weed and some people like to pop bars. Me, myself, I like to party like a rock star. Been out on the street, making money in a bad way. Breaking in the car and taking change about the ashtray. Peeping out the window 'cause I feel somebody talking. Turn the TV down, I swear to God I hear them talking. Need another rock so I can try to get my head right. I'll be watching windows when you roll up at the red light. People always ask me why I'm always acting high. And this is what I tell them every time they ask me why. 'Cause I smoke rock. I smoke rock. Now we all know I
It keeps going.
smoke rock. Smoke rock, now we all know. Pipe to the light, and I'm looking for a sparkle. Ain't no Brillo left, just to burn a piece of charcoal. Just got off the phone, I was talking to the dope man. Glass pipe broke, so I made one out of coke can. Looking on the floor, 'cause I think I might have dropped it. Flashlight on my head while I'm digging through the carpet. Take a fat hit, sink my face into the pillow. I ran out of crack and started chewing on the Brillo. I smoke rock. I smoke rock. Now we all know.
Thank you. We needed
Oh
that.
yeah, I just thought that was. I just thought it was fitting the subject we were talking about. You know.
Yeah.
Good
I hate that
grief.
you and I get so much shit for being weed smokers.
It's ridiculous.
I know. I'm not an opiate head. I'm allergic to opiates, and my daughter lost her life over them. And, you know, fuck a pill head. You know? Sorry, but I'd rather drink. I'd rather smoke Jesus's grass.
I mean, I feel so much better off pain pills.
I hated them. They made me sick. They gave me a headache. Because, you know, I cut my toe off. I think I told you already. And when they tried to sew it back on, when the nerve endings reattach, holy shit, that hurts. When your nerve endings are reattaching,
Yeah.
and you were describing that day that you were needing help. And I told my husband, I was like, that's it, man. This is making me just, because he went with it. He went through it with me when I cut my toe off.
Mine, it's that the nerves grew knots on the end of them from when they were severed. So that it imitates me losing them again. That same pain.
People understand that when you lose a digit or a limb, that you still have growth. You still have growth coming out and nerve endings attaching. Yes. I don't think that people understand exactly your daily pain and what your daily grind is like.
I mean, I know I don't have legs, but my brain doesn't know I don't have legs. My brain's just like, hey, there's an error somewhere. You know, something's not where it's supposed to be. So it doesn't work right.
Just the wind could blow and it hurts so
sometimes.
bad.
Sometimes. But I think Harvard, Yale, a couple of the top schools did studies on cannabis and amputee pain.
Yes.
And it's been proven over and over again that it helps amputee pain, especially.
Yes.
The nerve pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish they would get it here. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, over there they want to give me so much shit because I use medical cannabis. Well,
they do.
At least
I see it here. Kemper and Jim. Kemper not as bad
Kimber's
as
you know what I mean?
Jimbo.
Kimber's a stoner. Kimber's doing it to get high. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is my pain medicine.
They just don't respect it. You know,
Whether they want to, right?
And
Whether
I
they
don't
want to
respect someone
understand
who
that
takes
or not.
pills. Yeah.
But Jimbo will talk crap about me using it, but he won't say nothing about his best buddy there.
Oh,
Right.
Kemper? Yeah. What do they have in common? I mean, what the hell do they even have in common? You know? What the hell do they have in common?
Hate for Ernie. I
Ernie,
think.
that's it.
No clue.
All I can tell is the only thing they have in common is their hate.
Their hate.
Well, you can see in that video that was Rap Show the other day when Jimbo went off on Kemper. That was just like when he went off towards me. It was like when he goes off towards you. He snapped.
Yeah.
Him after this. Him after this.
He only likes praise. He's someone that can't be criticized.
Yeah.
I ain't had a choice, you know, my whole life but to be criticized.
Because Alicia, his public relations employee, she tried to help him, tried to, make him softer and tried to, lead him to Christ. And because she is, very convicted and really tried to be his friend. And, we all know what happened there. So it's like he wouldn't even listen to the person that he hired to give him consult.
You know what I mean? I tried to be his best friend. I mean, he's not going to flip all this on me. He's just not going to do it.
You know what's wrong with a lot of these people? They've never been put in their place in their life. And that's the whole reason that a lot of these people are freaking out about things Nicolina says or does, or my daughter says or does, because no one has ever made them accountable for their own actions in life.
Well, one of the last videos.
Chaotic that she was hired.
One of the last videos he did, he's tried to say that I was
that he was told
personality.
multiple times that people had come to her. He did hire her, according to her. And whether he did or not, she was someone that we all sort of looked to for guidance, and someone that he listened to for a time being. And so a mentor, in the entertainment world, a mentor.
Who, Jimbo?
That's the best way to describe Alicia. No, she said
Alicia.
that she didn't work for him. And I'm saying, whether there was money exchanged or not, I definitely think she was a mentor for him.
She was a good friend. She was trying to do what I was doing. I was trying to be his friend.
And made it a family atmosphere. And it was healthy. And we were all bonding and we were all becoming a family. And it seemed like a split happened.
When though? Think about it, Gypsy. When did that happen?
I'm trying to think about it. It seemed like when the split happened and we got
when somebody showed up, a certain person showed up, and then everything changed.
Would their name start with a K?
Oh,
well, I
we
guess
started with a K.
I guess that's what people are saying. But see, I didn't know him or their relationship beforehand, so I didn't have anything to benchmark it from. And yeah, she was lied to like everyone else. See, she was a really good friend to a lot of us, and she had good ideas, like the game shows and things like that. She wasn't hired. She was trying to be a good friend, and I don't look to anyone for guidance. Yeah, I feel like she was trying to mentor him in the entertainment industry, and when someone's arrogant, they don't want to hear anything you got to say.
Well, I stood up for him, and you don't know how bad I feel for that. You don't know how, and I've said it to traders a million times, and I'll keep saying it to her how sorry I am, because I didn't know. I came into the situation. I just
backwards. I feel
seen him
like I
getting
came
attacked.
into it backwards.
Right, and she understands that.
I know, but me, you know what I mean? I
Right,
still, it still bugs me.
right. But don't carry that guilt. Just turn it
It,
around and be the wonderful person that you are. You know what I'm saying?
well, I know,
You
but
don't
it
need to
just,
carry that guilt. She wouldn't want you to carry that guilt. I don't. You know, there are no dues to pay. Just be the best person you can be.
I think it's great that y'all are close
he
now.
never told me, never once, that him and Nicolina were friends. Never mentioned that one time. It was all they've been enemies forever.
Oh, of course.
I was sitting in one of my own lives, and someone came in chat and said, Nicolina came to YouTube via Kemper and Jimbo. And I said, do what? Huh? And I think me and Sarah found out at the same
Yes.
time. And we were like, duh? You know?
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure that out big time, you know?
Yeah.
It just, and he did that video about a month ago, and he kept it private until the last couple weeks.
Which
And
video?
well, I've told you guys it was all about me, and I've told you guys, before I came to the stand where I was at Jenna's Journey, and Jenna and them guys trolled me for almost a year. I mean, horribly. So Jimbo's like, man, no, dude, I'd never do nothing. Never. What happened? He did the same exact thing. And it's still going on.
Yep.
So what did he do in that video? He brought Jenna up. And Jenna brought all her friends. So the chat was bashing me, and so were them two.
Chaotic said Alicia barely knew him. By the way, she was at his house once for less than an hour, so she didn't know any better than anyone else. That's interesting to know, Chaotic.
Yeah, one of the people, one of them he had back up was that Dusty chick again. The one that buried her cat that was alive.
Are you talking Jenna's Journey? Are you talking about the Jenna that
he said I could have a piece?
She was
from
friends with
Ziggy?
Candace Wells.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's so trashy.
Her. Yeah. I had surgery, and I was down to one arm, and this was at like 2 a.m. She called the police, told them that she thought I was in severe danger, and they were here at 2 a.m. about to kick my door in. Couldn't get out of bed because this was the night I got out of the hospital. They had to go over and get my elderly dad and wake him up at 2 a.m. to come over here to get into the house. That's the stuff that Jenna and them did to me.
Yeah.
And now they're coming on Jimbo's and they're saying I had a gun to my head and I had this gun in my mouth on my lap. And I mean, why in the hell are you going to go around and lie about some shit like that?
Yeah, that I've seen her back, and that's when I used to watch Ziggy and stuff, and when she used to come on panel. And then when her and Ziggy split, and oh yeah, I seen all the trash.
And it was the same way. I was her friend. I was there for her, just like with Jimbo. And then one day when she was done, she was done. And then
Chaotic said, Judo, can you clarify how long you knew Jimbo? There's so many stories. I think you should clarify the truth.
The truth is, I met Jimbo through Jenna when that was all ending with Jenna. So right before I came into the stand is when I met Jimbo. Maybe a month before. We had been talking through some emails.
So you've only known him about 2 years?
I haven't even known him that long.
You're kidding me.
No. I was only a member of the stand for 8 months.
So you don't live local?
No, I live in Illinois.
Why did I think you lived close?
I had to drive almost 8 hours to get to
Because you
Tucker.
got a dog. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's how we met. That's how we met because Jenna knew I was needing a new service dog.
You're shitting me.
Because Molly, my service dog now, has hip dysplasia. She's 10 years old. It's time for her to retire and just be a
Okay, let
dog.
me ask you one more question. What does judo tap out mean? You weren't a wrestler with him?
No, I fought MMA.
You fought MMA, but was it with him in the same genre? No. Y'all didn't move in the same circles.
When I was younger, Mom had me in martial arts because she didn't want me bullied. She wanted me to be able to take care of myself. So all through, grade school, junior high, high school, I did karate. I got my second degree black belt in karate. Shotokan karate. And then when that was my senior year, I was going to wrestle for the high school. I wanted to wrestle and they wouldn't let me because of insurance.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, screw that. So I just went and I started taking judo.
Okay.
And I got my black belt in judo. Well, a few years down the road after that, we were just watching some local MMA in Burlington, Iowa. And this dude didn't have an opponent. And he was up there just talking shit to everybody in the crowd. I'll fight anybody. My buddy's nudging me. He's like, go up there and just choke the shit out of him. And I did. And about 30 seconds later, he was screaming and crying and kicking on the mat. So that's what started the MMA stuff. That was all Illinois and Iowa. Nothing to do with Jimbo. Nothing.
That's cool.
I was pretty, I worked out with like Pat Miletich and that crew.
That picture is of me holding her. That's me. I was anorexic.
You seem
seriously, I was.
Oh shit! You see what Nick is saying?
This was back when big hair bands were the shit, and it seemed like everybody I went to high school with had a band, and back then Coke wasn't dangerous. I mean, like it is today. I mean, it just wasn't, especially in like North Carolina. It had been stomped on so much, you pretty much was taking pure baby laxative. It's the truth. So
Right.
you didn't really get hooked on it because it had been stomped on so much. And back then it was like a glamour thing. If you were at a party, it was in the bathroom and the girls had it or something like that.
Right.
It was just the thing. It wasn't like I don't know. I can't explain it. It was just different in the 80s.
I
Never
did
got
Coke
into
in my
that.
20s.
It was always weed or acid.
Acid,
I did.
too. That's true. I've done
I
white on
dropped
white.
acid like
Yeah.
5 different times.
Yeah, me too.
And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't ever want a bad trip.
Yeah, I would never. I've had a bad trip and it sucked. What happened was my stomach hurt like a mofo, and they said that was the strychnine. And then everybody else was coming down, but I wasn't. So I went into panic mode, like had a seriously one of my worst panic attacks. I was like, am I going to stay this way forever?
Right.
Why is everybody else sober, but I'm not? And I
Right.
think that was the last time I ever touched it.
The last time I ever did it, my buddy called me to his house, and they looked really big to me, the pieces of paper.
16.
And I took 2 of them, and he took 2 of them because we would always take 2. And another buddy come over about a half hour later and said, he looked at him, and he was like, "Oh, you guys fucked up." And we're like, "What, man?" And he took a pair of scissors and he cut each one into 4 pieces. We took 2 hits of 4-way window pane each.
Wow.
Right.
So I did 8 hits at one time. That was the last time I did it.
I remember sitting in English class and a girlfriend of mine, she came in late and she sat down and she goes, "Smell this," and she shoves it under my nose. And I started laughing and laughing and laughing. She got me in so much trouble. I was like, "What is that?" She goes, "Oh, it's Rush." I was like,
Oh,
"You bitch." You're right. I couldn't quit laughing. Oh
I
man.
never did that stuff. I had a buddy that did though.
That was the only time I did. And I remember she took me to, it was a high school nemesis, so I thought the girl hated my guts. But come to find out she was my paramedic when I cut my toe off. Swear to God, it was a true story. I was like, oh my God, you're the girl that I thought hated me in high school. She's like, I don't hate you. Good. Then now we're
Like, I
friends.
do. Give me your other toe.
She was so weird. But yeah, I was real intimidated by her. She like was real pretty and tall and just was real pretty, and she could kick my ass. So I would hide from her a lot when I saw her in the hallway. But anyway, she didn't want to kick my ass. It was all in my head. So I was a geek. Anyway, so she a friend of that same friend that had the rush took me over to her house one day, and she goes, I want to take you over here. You know, she gave me a ride home from school. I got to stop off over here. We stop off, and they're like, here is a brownie. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I'm a dumbass. I'm eating the hell out of it. And they're like, hey, right. Yeah, so I was like so stoned. I was like, what was in that brownie? They're like, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, I didn't screw around too much. Just weed and tripping.
Yeah, just weed. Yeah. I mean, I dropped acid. Yeah, yeah. And I never like ate shrooms, but a lot of my buddies did. I didn't do any.
Oh,
And
I
they
mean,
did peyote. I didn't do any of that.
I made
Yeah.
a plenty of shrooms.
I had friends that did it. I never did that.
Yeah.
You see more colors, more vibrant stuff on the shrooms.
And this was back when California Coolers was on the market, and it had the little flakes of orange floating in the orange ones. And so to me, that was like, a treat, getting a California Cooler and a joint. To me, I really didn't need anything else, The California Cooler to me tastes like Orange Crush. And there was just a little bit of alcohol in it, enough for them to get their money for it. It was just really sweet as shit, And I remember we went to it. We had clubs at our high school, the Hawa and Tri-Hawa through the YMCA, and they were sort of like the sorority and fraternity. You were a nobody unless you were in the Hawa and Tri-Hawa. And of course I wasn't, but my best friend was. So I got to go tag along to a lot of fun parties. And I remember going to one toga party, and everybody came in a toga. And the best looking guy in high school wore a red silk one. All made from homemade sheets, right? And they made PJ in the bathtub. And they had this big keg outside with a beer bong hooked up to it. So I learned how to chug beer. I think I was 15. Now, kiddies, don't try this at home.
Right?
Yeah, and this was like in 1985. So
We're a college town, so we still see that stuff here.
the only alcohol that we could get, because my dad was an undercover cop, and they were like, I ain't selling you no damn alcohol, was that these old people at this little M&S Mart, and they only would sell us Mad Dog. So they're like, so what did you bring to chug at the party? And we're like, Mad Dog 2020. And they're like, oh my God, you're going to be sick as shit.
Right? I remember
Like, it was
the
all we
Mad
could
Dog.
get, man. It was all we could get. They're like, okay. And then pour it down in the, we're like, we were drunk. Let me put it this way. That party we rode to on her dad's lawnmower because we didn't have her license yet. So we took her lawnmower back home drunk as shit. And we're like, hey, let's steal a sign, road sign. And it was like not so easy. It was like, how do people do this shit? It's like all in concrete and stuff. It's like that didn't work out. So
Right.
but we did try.
We were all tripping.
Where were we going to put it on a damn lawnmower, right?
We were all tripping one night, and I don't know why they decided to do it, but my buddy was like, hey, let's go to these grain silos outside of town. Just outside of town. And there's like a set of 3 of them, like, I don't know, maybe 5 foot apart each one. They're just set like in a little triangle like area, and they all climb. 3 of them climb to the top of it, and I'm sitting on the ground. I'm not in my wheelchair. I'm sitting on the ground, and I'm looking up at them. And I'm just laughing at them. And all of a sudden, one of them runs and jumps across to the other grain bin. Right? I'm like, whoa, And then here comes another one. He jumps and he makes it to the other grain bin. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. And then here comes Roger. And he jumped and he didn't go nowhere but down.
Right.
And we had to take him to the hospital emergency room with a broken leg.
You're kidding me. Wow.
Oh no, we were all out of it. That was I'll never forget that.
Hey, creepy archivist.
It looked like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. He jumped and he ran and he jumped, but he didn't go nowhere but down.
Does shrooms help with anxiety?
They're saying I've seen some.
Need something for anxiety.
I've been seeing they're using them in micro doses for depression and anxiety.
He has PTSD.
That and ketamine.
Yeah, ketamine I think would knock him out.
Well, the ketamine treatments are supposed to be really, really beneficial.
Hey, Lion Mom. Sweet Melissa.
It's supposed to almost reboot your brain.
Really? Dark of light. Good to see you guys.
I wonder if it would reboot my body.
When my daughter was murdered.
They use it for pain and for depression and anxiety.
When my daughter was murdered and we had to go through the murder trial, I was fragile mentally, and they put me on Klonopin. And she said, I'm only going to put you on it for the trial because I didn't have I had what's it called, a paradoxical effect to it. And it literally, I was smashed through the whole thing. And I really only recollect certain, 2 different things. I remember Senator Jeff Jackson holding up the jar with her bullet in it. And I remember a woman on the stand saying what my daughter said before she died. And so those 2 things stood out to me. And I remember seeing my ex-husband, and I appreciated that. But the Klonopin, they said, was like a way of wiping out your memory bank. And it did. Rather than going and getting the electric shock treatments to do that, they did it with this pill. And with the paradoxical effect, it worked for me. Those are the only things I remember about the trial.
I know when you have surgery, they give you some type of medicine that makes you forget everything. That's why you don't remember nothing at all when you wake. You don't even remember going to sleep or nothing because they give you this I can't remember what it was called though.
Yeah.
They give you some crap.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just think if a predator got a hold of that shit.
Right. There might be some, Gypsy, when after all this stuff with Jeff, I contacted this psychic. She's in.
I did too. Yes.
She's in New Jersey. I've had 2 sessions with her, and I still text her on holidays and stuff.
Did it give you closure too?
I think that is what really helped me this whole time.
Me too.
We know it still hurts. We know, it's going to hurt every day the rest of our lives. But the things that she explained to me that me and Jeff did before both of us even came in this lifetime, together kind of really made me understand a lot of stuff. You know, that we made the bond. I stepped up and, before I even came in this life, agreed to lose a child. Now, I don't know why I did. Some sort of lesson, or maybe to redeem me from something I've done in the past. But, you know, it made a lot of sense when she explained it all to me. And I mean, I think that is what's made me so much stronger about it, you know?
Yeah. When I talked to my medium, I met her through Facebook, and she told me, you know, that she saw her, and she has her hand on her hip, and she says, "What, Mom? I'm fine." And I was like, "That's her."
Right.
That's her.
Right. Right.
And by then, her son's father had also been murdered. And she said they're together. She said not together as a couple, but she said at the time that Timmy wasn't coming to terms with his death, and that she was helping him cross over, and that she was trying to explain to him what had happened to him. And it was coincidentally the dream that I kept having, that I was driving and she was beside me, and she was just talking away with the wind blowing in her hair, music playing like usual. And I said, "Amanda, you're dead. You can't be here with me right now. You're not alive." And she's, "What are you talking about, Mama?" And I was like, I was the one that had to tell her, "You're not on Earth anymore, honey," in my dream. And so she was explaining to me that that was what she was having to help him cope with, that you're not on that side anymore, Timmy, and that they were being friendly to one another, but they weren't a couple per se. And
right.
That helped me give closure that she wasn't alone. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's weird. I had the same kind of similar dream with Jeff afterwards. But my dream was, I heard a bunch of noise in the garage. Well, I was going to show somebody. I don't know why. I was showing them something about the garage. And I heard a bunch of noise out there. And I went out there and opened the door. And there was this wooden boat being built. And there was my son up there on a ladder sanding away. And I'm like, you know, Jeff, you know, I mean, how are you here? So what do you mean, how am I here? And I was like, well, your dad is, do I look, you know, Jeff was always, you know, that cowboy twang and cursing his head off. He was always like, well, what the
Right.
fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, we got to tell everybody. And this and that. And he was like so irritated, just like he normally would get. And I'm like, don't you get irritated? You know, we were told. And he's like, no, Mama, I'm not irritated with you. I'm irritated with these people that lied to you.
Right.
And I was like, well, it's okay, son. You know, and I was hugging him, and I was getting his brother and sister, and we were talking about going and eating dinner together. And when we were on our way to go eat dinner, that's when I woke up.
Wow. And you know it means something when it's almost as though you can taste it, smell it, everything.
Yeah.
I could even smell her perfume.
Right. Right. You know, it's just, I mean,
All of
yeah.
our senses are there, so they're talking to us.
Right. But you know what's amazing, Gypsy, is that me and you are on this journey together.
We are. I'm so glad I found you.
I know. I mean, like,
I remember you being a tiger with me. You probably
right?
don't remember me. Yeah, I remember being a tiger with you, and Traders was Snail Slayer back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Right?
loyal as fuck, weren't we? We
Right.
really were. All
I'm
right.
just so
Thank you,
nice to
Nicolina. I
everybody.
appreciate you.
Right. I really, I always adored you and Sarah, and you know, when we had to walk away, we knew there was, a few people that we cared about.
Thank you, Nicolina. Thank you, Lion Mama.
Thank you, girls. I mean, the thing is, Gypsy, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Me and you, we got our heads up high.
Yeah.
We're making our babies proud.
I hope so.
Oh,
Because I'm gonna tell you,
girl,
I'm gonna get raw for a second. I mean, I have my boys, okay, and one of them is femme trans, cisgender, and his father and his father's wife raised him because I was in traveling sales. And when I had a horrific divorce and out of court, we settled that when I was not on the road, I had him. And we were very amicable for a while. And we had horrific fights for a while. And I feel like, I know my boys love me, but my daughter, I had her in a horrible domestic violence relationship. I was an 18-year-old kid, drop out from high school, run away from home, and come up pregnant again. I couldn't go back home, And so I stayed with him. And I feel like with my sisters passing and my mom passing and my daughter passing and my best friend all passing, all my witnesses are dead to the shit I went through, carrying her, bringing her into the world, giving her everything that she deserved. All the hell I went through was in vain. And she witnessed it all and was my right hand.
Yeah.
And when she, moved away from home, she still came home to do her laundry. She came home to eat mama's cooking. She was at my house to the point I bought a sleepaway sofa. They were at our house so much.
Right.
And we were even like, why are you paying rent at your house when you literally live here? And now I look back at it and it's like she never missed a birthday. She never missed a holiday. She always made sure that I had a special Mother's Day, a special Valentine's Day. She loved me more than anybody.
Right.
My kids don't. My kids don't even
That's
say
the
it.
hardest thing to just, wow, all my witnesses are gone.
I know.
Nobody saw what all I went through. They're all dead. And she unconditionally accepted me with all my faults. She still loved me. I was still mom. And with boys, I feel like they're more conditional. We're not allowed to be emotional with our boys. They feel like, ick, I'm pushing too much emotion off on them. And so they don't get it.
Hey, I think I'm gonna drop down, you guys. But I wanted to let you know before I do. Easy is live right now, and he's going after Sayla.
Why Sayla?
It says Cest Lovey, the Osh conformity experiment.
Okay.
Mark choice.
He's just a jerk.
Okay.
He's something else.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Because she's probably going to be upset. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Judo.
Yeah, no problem.
We love you, Judo.
Thank you, Guardian Angel and Lulu. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, you guys in chat.
But yeah, I'm going to drop in and let you ladies continue your combo.
Thank you. I appreciate that, guys.
Yep, I'll see y'all on the YouTube streets later.
Okay, sweetie.
Her birthday is this weekend, so it's kind of fresh, you know.
Yeah.
On my mind, because she died on August 23rd, and then her birthday is September 1st. So this whole 2-week period is just shit for me, you know.
She was a Virgo, just like me. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Labor Day weekend took on a whole new meaning that year.
Right.
Hey, Jips, can I just like insert something for y'all?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
I'm super exhausted when I dropped down, but I heard the subject matter and I'm going to try to keep my thoughts flowing here.
Yeah.
But listen, y'all, now, Gypsy, you know some of my background. Sapphire probably doesn't. But I'll preface this by a couple of short things. As Gypsy knows, Sapphire, my husband died at his job when a week before my son was born. So I buried him 9 months pregnant, and I was 25 years old. So there's my death trauma. Okay. And then there's a brother and there's a father. It goes on. But I wanted to explain that because that's where I'm coming from. But also that back in the 90s, excuse me, y'all, I'm choking on my Nicorette gum. Back in the 90s, I was engaged to a man whose name I really don't want to share on this platform, but he's a New York Times bestselling author based on his near-death experience, and Fox made a movie about him starring Eric Roberts, if anybody's old enough to remember that movie. So his whole platform in his life, in his books, in his seminars is on the near-death experiences. And the other thing I'll plug in real quick before I really get to my point is that also, y'all were talking about the mediums. I managed 2 different metaphysical shops for several years, not at the same time, they were consecutive. But at both of them, we had, quote, psychic readers on staff all day, every day.
Nice.
So, yes, they worked in shifts. So, like, I was around roughly half a dozen, 6 or 8 different psychic readers that rotated because I was there full time managing the shop. So they were, I'd have one day, another one the next day. They all had their different days and shifts that they worked. So I was around a lot of that stuff. But one thing that kept popping in my mind as I was listening to y'all talking is something that still to this day helps me sometimes. And now whether that applies to other people, I can't say. But I still, every so often, will go on these little binges listening to some of the near-death experiences, the NDE channels of people's testimony about their near-death experiences. For some reason that when I'm getting a little weird, because my anniversary's coming up too, Gypsy, next month.
Right.
I mean, the situation with my personal thing was so weird because he died on his job. And his funeral was 3 days later. My birthday was 2 days after that. His birthday was 2 days after mine. And 2 days after that was our son being born. So I have a whole week of all of our birthdays mixed in with his death and whole funeral thing. So that's coming up for me too. But sometimes when things get to me, I mean, I'm, Sapphire, we're talking, this was almost 36 years ago. And I'm still, dealing with it. But listening to near-death experience testimonials gives me, and like I said, I don't know if that would help other people the way it does me. Everybody's different. And even me at times, it could hit me the wrong way, the wrong time. It's not what I need. But there's times when I find that to be very comforting. And I also I don't know if I should share this on here. It's not my kind of thing. But you inspired me, Gypsy. Some of the stuff y'all.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Okay, so you know the little bit of the backstory. So I was a scheduled C-section after his death and his funeral, and then I went to the hospital, had the C-section, and I came home. And this was the first both sleep paralysis and OBE experience that I had.
Oh, wow.
It was a couple days after I got home from the hospital with a baby with the C-section. I was sleeping in a twin bed in the nursery, in his nursery room, instead of my bedroom. And I laid there. Of course, I was exhausted. I was just, you can't even use that word. It doesn't even.
Dazed.
Doesn't even. Oh, dazed in here. I was falling asleep. And I was staring at the pattern. I can still see these curtains to this day. I was staring at the pattern in these curtains hanging right next to my bed. And the next thing I know, I had sleep paralysis. Like I was not asleep, but I could not move. Has anybody ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Yes.
Oh,
And
there
it
goes
is,
my hurricane.
it is awful.
My phone's going off, probably from the hurricane crap. Can y'all hear that?
Yes, I can.
That's my damn cell phone. So I was staring at the curtains and I went into sleep paralysis.
I'm going to check on my dad while you talk. He's down there near you.
The first time, yes, he is right up the street from me. And what happened after that was that in some etheric sense, is the only way I know how to explain it, I saw my husband like from the atmosphere above me, but he was moving towards me and it was just like his upper torso. As soon as he came into me, like to hug me, and it took my breath away. And what I'm doing here is looping this experience back to the near-death experiencers. And I think that's one reason I am kind of so into that stuff, is because it took me a long time actually to realize this, but listening to the NDEers and being engaged to a man who, you know, that's his whole life work is NDE, it finally dawned on me that what these people were describing was the exact same sensation I was describing about that contact with my husband. And after that brief encounter, I was out of sleep paralysis. Of course, I was conscious again, and I was just like, what the hell just happened? You know, I was totally freaked out. But I knew at that very moment, as I was digesting it all consciously, I knew that he was now gone. I mean, I had this knowing that nobody could have told me any different. I knew this wasn't going to be a regular visitation.
Right.
Show up in dreams 3 or 4 or 5 times over the next coming years. He would show up in dreams that were very symbolic to me. Like I knew that was my subconscious working through. I could identify exactly what was going on in that dream, you know, from my own subconscious concerns. But anyway, that was my experience. I just wanted to share that. I've never shared it publicly, I don't think. And just suggest to y'all, you know, that if the time is right for you to try, you know, listening to these near-death experience testimonials, and they're different. They're not all exactly the same. And but there's something comforting about it.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Honestly, I had a near-death experience when I was 19. Gypsy, I also had Jeff when I was 18.
Really?
Yeah. I was 16, which Jen's birthday is, I think, 2 weeks before mine. 2 weeks before my 17th birthday, I had Jennifer. And then I had Jeff on my 18th birthday. And Jeff just turned a year old. And it was right after his birthday is when I was shot. I was shot with a shotgun.
Oh my God.
Right in my chest.
Holy cow.
Right. It went through a door and it hit me. And when I was...
Were you the intended target?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though they say no.
Right.
Yeah.
You know better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when I got shot, I was still standing there. I was, in shock. And I just was like, what was that? Because I heard a loud boom and felt a bunch of pressure.
Yeah.
And then when my mother-in-law grabbed my arm, she was like, oh my God, you've been shot. And I looked down, seeing all the blood running down me. I was like, oh shit, I better sit down. I
Oh my
literally was saying all this out loud. I just was in shock.
Right.
So I sat down on the lawn and
I know exactly what you mean, because when I cut my toe off, it didn't register mentally what
right.
I had done yet. I just knew something didn't look right on my foot. And I looked up at the repair guy that was working on cars, and I said, Philip, I have fucked up. He goes, girl, you did. And I was like, oh
Right.
no. He goes, you sure did.
Right. It's funny how we're just still ourselves, you know? And it's like, so I had sat down on the lawn and, of course the ambulance came and everything. By the time the ambulance came, I was laying on my back, holding my arm because by then the pain had set in, and I was crying.
You were
I was
probably
like,
going to shock a little bit too.
right. I was like, don't touch me. Everybody get away from me. I was in so much pain because it literally went through, it hit me right in my right breast, right in the middle where your cleavage is.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me in the right breast, went all the way through my right breast, exited out the side of my breast, and then it went into my right arm.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Right. And so the plug from the shotgun bullet was in my right arm. And so that's where
What kind of bullet was it?
it was a shotgun
Oh,
birdshot.
that's right.
I still have a ton of BBs inside of me. So when they take an x-ray, I kind of light up like a Christmas tree. So when I laid back, that's it. I had the most weirdest sensation. People say they float up and all of that.
Right.
I did not float up. I literally was like in the dirt underneath me.
Oh my
And
God.
to this day, I can still smell that dirt.
Right.
And I was like trying to do a running check on my body. Like, is my heart breathing? Is my lungs, breathing in? Like, what is going on here? And I was completely out of my body, but I was underneath myself. And I know at that minute, like I was talking to God and I said, you know what? I need to live for my kids. I had 2 babies at the time, and that's all I could think about. And even out of my body, I'm like, God, let me live and I will be the best mama I can possibly be,
Right.
and it's like I slammed right back into myself.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get good care?
No.
You didn't.
No, I got the most horrible care.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to
Think you were out of
UMC.
body
Because
for
I
a
think
week?
that matters in our healing process.
Right.
You were aware that you were out of body. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's what, and that what I was getting at earlier with my description. I'm so tired I cannot articulate nothing right now.
Bless your heart.
When I saw my husband floating, that was my OBE. Like I was aware that I was not laying in my bed anymore.
Right.
So that's when I connected the general OBE experiences with some of these reported NDE experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a totally different feeling. Like, I mean, I even years after that, I practiced the time travel out of your body and things like that. And
astro travel.
Yeah, I've been very successful in my 20s. Like, I haven't done it in a long time, but I've always seen spirits. I mean, this has been going on since I was a little girl. So
Right.
like all this stuff is just like, it's home to me, which is weird.
I have a question for you, Sapphire. You had this since you were a little girl. When you had the NDE, did that enhance or change the caliber of your senses for these things? Was anything different after the NDE? Like were it was your psychic abilities and all heightened even more?
I would say, yeah, in a way. I mean, it's grown a lot more to where I'm better at gauging people with my psychic ability. Like, even people online, I will feel their energy. Even with, them being on
Yes.
YouTube or something, I feel their energy.
You do.
And
I know. Yeah.
I go to traders all the time. I'm like, yeah, this person they're not good. And traders would be like, oh, no, they're really nice. And I'm like, look, I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
And then, boom. And I'm looking at her like, I told you so.
This
happened picture to me. This picture that I'm putting up was front page. We felt like we had to involve the media because they were not really giving us justice, and they were not communicating with me. And you'll see there, that's me with my hand around my neck after we got the verdict, which was fantastic. Judge Caldwell gave him life plus 14. You see my husband standing there, and in between us is Senator Jeff Jackson.
Isn't there a picture of you guys at the front steps when you left that day?
Say again?
Isn't there a picture of all of y'all when you were coming out of the courthouse that day on the front steps?
No.
I thought I saw a picture of that same group you're looking at right now, that y'all were coming down the steps or out the front door or something.
That now, that's a different newspaper that I can't get the photos from anymore. So that might be floating around, but I don't have it. I know what you're talking about though, because they came up and asked me when I was leaving, was I happy with the verdict? And I said no, because there's still someone left out there that needed to be held accountable. And that was her boyfriend that took her there that night. And just, he's the one that involved her in everything. And so I didn't think that the guy here, the white guy here in the middle, I didn't feel like he was the only one that should go down. I felt like everyone that was involved should go down. And and her boyfriend being one, he got 18 for taking her there that night, because he was taking her on a drug deal, and he knew it was a drug deal, and knew that there was going to be an altercation between the guys, which was a pissing contest. And he just didn't need to involve her at all.
No.
And then when she was shot, he robbed her. Yeah, he robbed her.
Oh, right.
Her own boyfriend robbed her.
That. Yeah. Okay. So the guy in the middle is the actual perpetrator.
He's the one who shot the gun. Yeah, he's the one who shot up the house. and she took off running. This is 1 o'clock in the morning, so it was very dark.
Right.
And she took off running into the woods, and her flip-flop came off, and he got her in the back. His defense was self-defense because he was being robbed. And they said, son, you had your body inside a car and you had a gun, and she had no weapon on her at all, had a cigarette in her hand, and you shot her cold in the back.
Right.
And they said, son, you can forget about that defense. Right away, they threw that out. And it was like, oh my God, they've done thrown out his defense. It's like, this motherfucker's about to go down. And he did.
Right.
But then, so I didn't leave it there, you know. I wanted every motherfucker that was there that night to go down, and they did. And they each got karma that I could never wished upon them. I could never have prayed upon this sort of thing. Like I said, Jeff got life plus 14, and then Victor got 18. And then the two guys here, did I pull them up? This other guy right here in the camo shirt, he was the guy that he brandished a weapon first, which made this guy pull his weapon out. And it became a pissing contest over 5 pills.
Oh.
So she was shot over 5 Percocet pills. And let me tell you, the guy here in the camo, now the guy and the blonde-haired guy got life plus 14, and the guy here in the camo who brandished the weapon first, it was his house that got shot up, and his nephew that got grazed by a bullet. But he was a thief, a common thief, and they said, we need him on our side for his testimony, so, you know, we can't prosecute him for petty theft type crimes if we need him in a murder case. And so we were like, okay, just, you know, do whatever you got to do to get this guy's testimony. It was his house. His mom is the one that, you know, heard my daughter's last words. So he was important to the case. Right. He goes and gives his testimony. They give him like a year for his involvement. He gets out and robs live copper wire. He electrocuted himself to death.
Oh my God.
This guy right here is sort of the guy who started everything. He was a known drug dealer in the neighborhood in Gaston County. And look at all of his charges pending against my daughter. His court date was a week after her murder. So I wanted to know, I still don't know. I'm going to tell you what happened to this guy. Did he put this robbery in motion is what I want to know, because he knew she was pending testimony against him with all these charges. Trafficking heroin, possession of cocaine, possession of open container while consuming alcohol in a passenger car, possession of stolen property, false pretense, firearm carrying concealed, failure to appear a felony, kidnapping in the first degree, assault on a female, theft of financial card, breaking and entering, kidnapping in the first degree, larceny. This is when he kidnapped her, raped and robbed her, and took her car and her credit cards.
Wow.
And she was to be the star witness in his case. And I just think it's awful coincidental that she died right before she was supposed to give her testimony with motherfuckers that were involved with him. Victor sold for him, and so that was her boyfriend.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So there is a known connection between him and the people at the house.
Well, let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Sadler went in for other charges that he racked up. When he gets out, now this is the story on the street. Let me put my little allegedly up here. This is the story on the street. This is a rough ass town, okay? The story on the street is he was partying with some people, and he double-crossed the wrong people, and they overdosed him on his own dope. And when he overdosed on his own dope, he had a seizure that made him, what do you call it, like a vegetable? I'll pull up the picture of him and how he looks today. but it's graphic, and I really don't want to do that to his family.
I'm muted for just a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're not the ones who did his crime. So out of respect to his mom, I'm not going to put up that picture, but he is bedridden and doesn't talk, doesn't have any, a vegetable is all I know what to call it. Catatonic.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yep. So every single one of them got their karma.
Oh,
And, I was like, damn, she's up there raising hell. She got every single one of them, man.
Well, I told Jeff, go get that girl and get her by the hand and do some two-stepping with her for her birthday.
Right. Yeah, so
my baby will sweep her off her feet.
Isn't that crazy, though? I mean, I could have
Yeah.
never have dreamt up something like that. I mean, I wanted justice, but I didn't think it would be like that.
That's our universe.
But I'll tell you, Chris Sadler, the one who racked up all the charges, he's another one that I went to his mother and said, please, you've got to intervene. You've got to intervene. And she wanted to be in denial. She's one of those mothers who her son never did any wrong, yet he had a tattoo called Dr. Perk, and it had a pill bottle spilt on it. It's like, God, you were in denial. No,
Right.
not my Chris. It's like, yeah.
I just seen Nicolina went live.
Oh, well, she did?
Yeah.
I'm rambling on too much.
Girl, I love you.
I love you too.
And Sandy, I love you. Thank you for sharing with me. I mean,
thank you, Sarah.
There's a reason we all got involved together.
I think so too.
Oh, I know it. And
divine intervention.
Yeah, there's a reason, there's a plan. And that's why we're here to, teach people to be a little more fucking accountable in life.
Yeah, I've had to go get on head meds and shit. So if I've got to, all you motherfuckers have to too.
You damn right, girl.
Perfectly fine in a trailer park partying every day, but y'all said I've got to be accountable and hold on. So everybody else does too. Because I was
Right. Gypsy, I think y'all would probably both agree, but you can say if not, that if all of us who have had our different versions of trauma, and some of it's multiple, I know mine's complex, it's been off and on for all of my adult life, a collection of things, we'll call it. But it's important for all of those who are dealing with trauma, and pretty much everybody is in one way or another, in different ways, that if you don't deal with it, it will come back.
Exactly.
I mean, it will.
And manifest.
Oh, definitely.
And manifest into addiction.
It will affect your
hurts
life
other
in so many
people.
ways. Your relationships, like you said, addiction, escapism, denials, personality disorder.
Risky behavior.
So
that's why we're seeing these people right in front of our
I'm
eyes.
so glad y'all understand all this psych stuff.
Yes. That's why we're seeing these people right in front of our eyes losing their fucking minds.
Because they don't want to take accountability like we've had to.
100%.
Yeah. Remember, Gypsy, when weeks ago when I was on panel for like 4 freaking hours running my mouth? And
you're fun. I love having you here.
I was talking about all of us on every side of these camps and whatever's going on in this community. And I was emphasizing how we pretty much all, with very few exceptions, if any, have broken parts.
Right.
My broken parts aren't the same as somebody else's broken parts, but there's a lot of people's broken parts conglomerating here.
Yeah.
And so, like, I could pick out a few names and start razzing on, things I see and think and feel about certain people and their behaviors around here and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we're all broken crayons.
But it's the toxicity is like a soup. It's like that egregore of energy you heard me talking about before. where there's all these people with all their broken parts manifesting all this toxicity, and it's like in one big pot of soup, and it takes on an energy of its own. It goes beyond like who's right or who's wrong or what's truth or not, and everybody's doing their own dumb shit here. Okay.
Right.
That's true.
Somebody shows up doing their piece of shit stuff, and then somebody, is trying to right a wrong, and I find myself doing it. I mean, I'm accountable for it too, jumping in and trying to call it out and this and that. But a lot of people that are trying to call out other people's shit, rightfully so, are doing it in a way that they're bringing their own shit into it.
Yeah.
Right.
With the methods by which
You
they're
mean
trying
we're all
to
getting in the trenches together, mudslinging?
Yeah. It's just a lot of toxicity flying around and getting
That's why I get to a place and I'm like, I try to reel everybody back and say, okay, I so agree with you, but come on back, come on. You're a lot of no, but I'm like, no, to listen to me. I'm trying to reel us back a little.
Right.
I agree with you, Alaska. I do. And that's beautiful, Kintsugi.
Yes, I love your name, Kintsugi.
I do too. I like saying it.
Right?
A lot of these people that give us so much grief and headaches and they're just so nasty, that's that version of that person. That's the unhealed, struggling version of that person, making them toxic. And I think, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but when you're dealing with what a lot of people, refer to karma and things like that, and you don't have to label it as that per se, but when you're broken and you're dysfunctional and you're hurting other people, hurting yourself more than anybody else around you, that you are sort of cooking up a recipe of trouble for yourself while you're hurting other people that don't deserve to be hurt.
Yep, exactly.
And I just see a lot of that going on here.
Oh, yeah.
I have to get away from it a lot. I think somebody mentioned, it might have been you, Sapphire, mentioned something a minute ago. I think Alaska was talking about it too, if I'm not misunderstanding the chat. Some of us, and I know Gypsy's an empath, it's for some reason being like in this community, watching the YouTube channels, I pick up on so much.
Oh, yeah.
That, and I see that a lot of people don't pick up these things, they just
right
through the. But when you do see through it, and it's more like you feel through it, like you just know.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. I'm not good at protecting myself from all of that. And so when my own little real world here off the screen is overwhelming and burdensome, and I'm overwhelmed with so much, and then I'm feeling all of this junk on YouTube, it's like that. I don't have enough of me to be healthy in all of this. I've got my own.
Sister called it emotional currency.
Yeah.
You can't, you don't have enough emotional currency in your bank anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's just, I've heard it say emotionally bankrupt,
Yeah.
And so YouTube is not worth that. We can try to fix all the broken shit, but it's just not going to happen. Everybody's on a different journey and a different stage of things. And some people will keep doing the shit that we see them doing, and they're going to do that till the day they die. That's just the truth of it.
She told me, think of your love or your time or your energy as currency, and think to yourself, do I really want to spend my emotional money on that?
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, you're going to go, nah.
Right. You just reminded me of a visual I used to use, Gypsy, when I was younger. I was raising 2 boys, by myself. And I would be in relationships here and there, longer term relationships. And I remember running my life and being a single parent. And I was very, very active with that and working off and on. When I was in a relationship that was just getting too weird and then getting weirder and then staying weird for too long, I would start picturing like a pie chart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go, okay, how much of this pie chart, is graphed off for my self-care and for the best life for my children? And how much of this pie chart is beginning to get overloaded with this other person in my life that's eating into me, my home life, and my children?
Right.
And that visualization would help me a lot of times when it was past time to go and I wasn't letting go. I was still putting up the good fight, to salvage whatever we had,
Right.
But that pie chart would help me. And this kind of applies to what we're talking about, like with our YouTube life, socially speaking and all. How much of your pie chart is being dominated by the toxicity? It's not all toxic. We're like having this discussion right now and how much that matters and how we can help each other and support each other.
Right.
So there's that side of it too. I'm not negating that.
Like when I get these private messages that say they're going to turn on you, Nicolina's going to turn on you, she's going to love bomb you and get close to you, and then she's going to wreck your life. I want to say, at least it's a female that's going to do it this time.
Right.
Do you know what I'm serious. I'm to that point where it's like I'm just so over the whole male chauvinism, misogyny bullshit.
Well, that's something else we talked about before was how invested are you willing to get in internet relationships? Remember I called them e-pals?
Yeah.
That's true. I just have my guard up. I just don't let internet people into my, emotional investment too deeply. I've done it in the past. You've heard some of my stories before, about the encounter.
Well, I figure this way. How much worse can it get?
Right.
I mean, I have been through, I have a sister that all my family is got idiosyncrasies. But one in particular, she was a bit controlling because she was, 10 years my senior. And she didn't always give me good advice. And if I didn't take her advice, she became hostile in a vindictive way, calling my boyfriends, calling my job, calling DSS. Been there, done that with every member of my freaking redneck family.
Wow.
So bring it on. I probably know the people at DSS. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll just make some cookies. What of it? I got nothing to hide.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll meet a friend out of it. We don't get company much.
That's a perfect example.
I'm going to get company.
That's a perfect example of how other people's broken parts cause toxicity in our life.
What's there to be so scared of?
Well, whatever she was doing to you, just because you wouldn't take her advice, she's being passive aggressive. That's her broken shit that she needs to fix. So she doesn't treat people like that or doesn't react with that kind of a tactic. And then
in hindsight, now that I'm
very good point, Alaska. Yes.
Now that I'm in my 50s, I look back and I see that she just didn't know how to show me that she was worried about me. And so she panicked. I feel like she went in panic mode. Mm-hmm. And she felt like if she could control the situation, then she could keep me from getting hurt. And if she could keep me under thumb, she could keep me from getting hurt. Because now that I've been through that with my children, I see that that's how she must have felt about me. Uh-huh. And it wasn't a sibling thing. It was more of she saw me as her responsibility.
That's what was in my mind as you were saying that it's a parental type energy.
Right. Well, she got the ex parte against my mother and had her arrested for child abuse.
Sister. Okay.
And she's the sister. And so I feel like she always felt responsible for, even as a 20-some-year-old, even as a 30-some-year-old, I feel like she was trying to control my life to keep me from getting hurt. And I didn't see that then. Back then I was like, why are you trying to tell me what to do? Right?
Now, is this the one you just reconnected with a few weeks ago?
This one passed away. She had bypass surgery, and even with bypass surgery, they gave her 5 years on her heart, and she made it 5 years. But she did lose her way before she passed. But yeah, it really sucks because we were close, even though it was toxic.
Yeah.
And even though she could be overbearing and had her mental illnesses and her trauma, I know she loved me. So I feel like all the people that really love me are dead the way that they did. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
I feel like a woman loves you deeper in a different sort of level.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to a man. It's just different. It's just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get off. I got to tend to my birthday girl. And,
that's right. We need to go over to Nicolina. Is she live?
I think she's live. Yeah, I seen one of the pop-ups, but I got to go in here and see what we're going to do with this
Happy
dinner
birthday.
over here. Right?
Yeah. Did you get to hear when Selah sang to her?
I heard it.
Okay, good.
I told her that Selah
good.
sang to her, so I'll back it up for her.
Okay, good.
I watched most of that replay right before I got on with y'all because my messages are blowing up every time there is a storm coming.
People worry
my
about
family is not in Florida, and they all start blowing up my messages. I've been here for 30 freaking years. I live
That's
in
me. That's me messaging.
It's like, leave me alone.
Right. Well,
I'll rush off and head on over there with you then.
But do check on your dad, Gypsy.
Okay, we'll see y'all later.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank everybody for coming, and we'll see y'all on the YouTube streets. My husband's wonderful. Love him, love him, love him.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm moving my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quarantine, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You're sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quarantine, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart.